So Sean Phobal is the latest club to feature in our Pride of the Parish series here on Lorna Parka, highlighting the great work being done at grassroots level across the county. And delighted to be joined in the line by Sean Phobal chairman Michael Hogan. And first of all, Michael, just to give our listeners a sense of the club, how many members do you have at the moment?
We're at the moment we're actually a very small club. Size and player numbers is our biggest issue. We would only have about 22, 23 players in total in our full panel. So that obviously brings a lot of problems with it. If you're missing any few players, you're down to bare bones. So it's a very small club. It's a completely rural club. We don't even have a village, a town. We've nothing like that to draw off. So our population in the parish is small, so therefore our player numbers are small.
And just for listeners who wouldn't be familiar with the club, Michael, where are you located exactly?
Okay, it surprised me that somebody actually asked me a question last week where actually is Sean Phobal. It's in the Gaeltacht. It lies between Unrying and Ardmore on the coast, about 8 miles west of Dungarvan. So most people, we share a parish with Unrying. Unrying, Agus and Sean Phobal are the one parish. We obviously have two separate clubs, but it's one parish.
Very good. And I was reading recently, Michael, that Sean Phobal have entered a team in the Western Junior C hurling championship for the first time in 20 years. How did this all come about?
That's right. Well, yeah, traditionally we're a football club. It would have been nearly all football. We had a little hurling for a couple of years in the 60s, and then it was reformed in the 90s again. But we struggled for numbers, so it finished in 2001. It has been in discussion for a few years. I suppose it started really maybe about 10 years ago, in that there's much more hurling being played in the school in Sean Phobal is in Ballyvacart. So again, up to maybe about 10 years ago, it would have been traditionally just football played there. But in the last 10 years, they play football and hurling. We're very lucky we have Liam O'Lenan, Aslan Ryan as Montos, the school, and Liam does an awful lot of work with the children for boys and girls and training them and coaching them the skills and the love of the games as well. So that was probably the start of it. Then when they finish school, they move on to the Gaeltacht, and that's a club between Unrying, August and Sean Phobal for underage. So again, it's a very well run club, working on the skills of the game. So the players continue there, but we never had enough then when they finished at underage. We never had enough for an adult team. So what happened was we maybe have 3 or 4 or 5 players would play junior hurling with Unrying. But the discussion has been going on for a few years, should we look at doing our own club in hurling? But the feeling was we just didn't have enough. But I suppose the one good thing, there wasn't a whole lot of good things came out of COVID, but maybe COVID did accelerate the speed that we had to set up the club, because we figured with the split season like we had last year and we have again this year, we wouldn't actually be playing football until October if we didn't have hurling this year. The football championship isn't starting until, I think, close to the middle of October. So that would mean we'd have the whole summer with very little to do, and it's very hard to keep players focused when you don't have a match coming up. So that did accelerate our thoughts on it. And after a lot of discussion around Christmas last year, we decided that we'd go with it. We knew our numbers were small. Like, as I said, at the time we felt we had only maybe about 18 or 19 players, but there's a few more even, with the hurling now. There's a few after coming back that had retired or that weren't playing. So it's gone very well. We're delighted with it so far.
Yeah, is there still a few old-timers sticking around, Michael, to line out with you this year?
There is, yeah. We need the old timers. Our team is the very young and the not so young, I suppose. We would have maybe 8 or 9 of the players would only be about just 18, 19, 20, that age group. And then the rest are people that actually wouldn't have played hurling with maybe 10 years, other than the 3 or 4 that played with Honrang in the junior. But the rest wouldn't have played any hurling in at least 10 years. We have one player, Ray Terry, who played the last time we had a team in the 90s. And Ray is still a backbone of the team. So we rely on the older players an awful lot. Like we need everyone. We need all the people we have. We're very lucky that Declan Ryan, originally from Middleton, but whose people came from Old Parish and Sean Phobal, has moved back to living in Sean Phobal, and Declan won a Cork senior county title with Middleton. So obviously he has good credentials. So he's playing with us and is the backbone of the team, a foundation of the team, nearly. So we need the young fellas and the old fellas. We need them. So everyone is welcoming our club.
It's brilliant to hear, Michael. Like, how much of a lift has it been for the club itself to have a hurling team back out in the field again?
Yeah, Tomas, it has, and that's something that probably surprised us. It has given a new lease of life to the club. Like, our training numbers are very good. Even in the community, people are asking, first of all, will you have enough? Will you be able to field the team? And then when you start the fielding, the county board ran very good leagues in hurling and football. And that was our introduction. And while we'd been doing a bit of training, we actually didn't know what level we were. Like we were afraid, you could get hammered in matches because you don't know until you get out in the field if you're at the level. But we played in the league, and that went okay for us. And now we've started the championship. But it has been great for the club. It has really, I would say, reinvigorated the club again, and it's given us great lease of life. And hopefully that'll keep going.
Absolutely, Michael. And just a final question for you, Mark O'Mahuna lined out for the Waterford minor hurlers that reached a Munster final against Cork, the first player from Sean Phobal to do so. How proud of you were you as a club to see that happening?
Yeah, that was amazing, and we were delighted. We were all there at the Munster final. It's a great achievement, first of all, for Mark and his family, and I think for the work that has been done at both the school and at the Gaeltacht level, that players can be brought along, can come along. Mark is obviously a very talented player, but we were delighted and proud of that, and it shows, I think, all the players that. Just because you're from a small club doesn't mean that you can't have success. I think even to the senior, when you look at no disrespect to Arena, Ballysagat, it's like small clubs. They have players on the Waterford senior team. So, but we know there's long steps to go to get to that stage. But it was a great start for us, and we were delighted and proud of it, and very proud for Mark and his family.
Well, Chairman of Sean Phobal, Michael Hogan, thanks so much for your time today, and we wish you all continued success for 2021.
Good, Margaret. Thanks, Tomas.